We became the first people ever, don't check that, to take Rainbow Neos into Plat 1 inside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And we did this the entire season. From the very start, I knew I didn't want to play a regular deck because the format has been what it is for so long. So instead, we decided to make something truly fun. This deck was initially conceived by me for the TCG back when Red Eye's Dark Dragoon was legal. This deck tried to accomplish one thing: get 2 monsters on the board to go into Predaplant Vert's Anaconda to exploit Red Eye's Fusion to get Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. But because that is not legal inside of Master Duel, instead we made some slight tweaks. And we did so to mixed results, but we'll get into that with the deck profile. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave it a like. And if you want to see more from your boy, please consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really hope that we can do so. Huge thank you to everyone that's shown their support, been out for the live streams and commented down below on like suggestions for stuff. It's been really great to interact with you guys, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the Neos deck profile. Wait a minute. I wasn't quite prepared for that. Anyways, so ignore the Synchro Festival deck, which is Sartix, which has been a lot of fun too. The Neos Turbo deck that we took into Plat 1 this season looks like this. That's right. Neos Turbo consists of a bunch of different engine pieces and good stuff fusion garbage. In my everlasting quest to prove that anything can reach the top rank inside of Master Duel, this is it. Let's go over the card by card. So, starting off with the hand traps, because there are quite a bit of them. We have 2 copies of Cypher Gear Gamma, 1 copy of Cypher Driver, 1 copy of Effect Failure, which is part of our Halki Fibrax line, 2 copies of Drone Lockbird, 3 copies of Max C, 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 copies of Navir the Primal Being, 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. So it's a lot of hand traps. I felt like this deck was really good going second and only okay going first, though you do have a lot of tools to go first with this deck if you do choose so or if you are forced to. I did think it was beneficial to have at least 2 hand traps in almost every single hand because each deck kind of interacts with them differently, and sometimes, more often than not, everyone's running Called by the Grave. So a lot of these hand traps kind of get around that, plus they're powerful enough to where if they do go off, you're good, and if they don't go off, you have a backup hand trap just in case. Gamma is probably the most powerful of all the hand traps, except for Max C, of course, that's the GOAT. Moving on to our main deck, other than hand traps, we have 1 copy of MLTO Neos as a star of our show for the Neos engine. Then we have 2 copies of Sangan. This is a 1-card Axis Code Talker and also Predaplant Vert's Anaconda. Then we have 1 copy of Crusadia Arborea, our search off of Sangan, though Sangan can also search hand traps if you do need it. 1 copy of Destiny Hero Celestial, part of our Fusion Destiny package, and 2 copies of Alistair the Invoker, a really strong card inside this deck. The Invoked engine is a really good engine to run with Rainbow Neos because of a lot of reasons, particularly because of Magical Meltdown, making sure your fusion spells go through, and also you can pair it with Rainbow Neos to shuffle back spells and traps into the deck. Alistair the Invoker also helps boost Rainbow Neos and also Dystopia for extra protection and extra interruption. Next, we have 2 copies of Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon's an interesting card in this deck. You could cut it potentially or change it around for something, but my thought process and my theory behind this card is that it's an extra body for something like Predaplant Vert's Anaconda, and or you could potentially convert it into something for Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. So overall, pretty good card. I think running more than 2 is incorrect, but 2 was perfect for me. Then 1 copy of Dynatag to round out our Fusion Destiny engine. This guy smells. Then we have 1 copy of Rainbow Dragon to round out our Neos engine. Then onto the spell cards, we have 2 copies of Invocation, 2 copies of Neos Fusion, and 3 copies of Fusion Destiny. I found for me personally, playing 3 copies of Fusion Destiny was perfect, and 2 copies of Rainbow Neos or Neos Fusion was just okay. Oftentimes if you draw into both of these cards at the same time, it conflicts, and you usually can't go into both, but you can go into the Invoked package and then one or the other. I did find the Fusion Destiny package was a little more handy just because you could burn your opponent and also pop cards on the field, but you definitely want to run Neos Fusion for obvious reasons. Moving on, we have 2 copies of Lightning Storm for monster or spell and trap removal, 2 copies of Magical Meltdown to really add some consistency to the Invoked engine as well as protection for your fusion spells, and also as a hand trap magnet, which is really helpful. Then we have 2 copies of Forbidden Droplet to round out the main deck. Now, moving on to the extra deck, we're playing 13 cards because unfortunately bots are still a thing. I played 15 cards, which you probably could, honestly. The 15th card would be something like Link Spider, or you could add in, I don't know, another good generic Link, or maybe the other Cyber Dragon Fusion. I don't really want to run into a DD Dynamite bot. I'd rather get those free wins, so that's why I'm playing 13, but it's unfortunate. Starting off, we have one copy of Invoked Purgatrio, can really help for OTKs, one copy of Destiny Hero Dystopia. This slot in the TCG deck would have been Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and in the future, maybe Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, if the same engines are here. But a really cool card for Interruption, and also the burn helps for OTK. Then we have Invoked Mechaba. You could probably bump this card up to 2 maybe, but really great card for negation and banishing. One copy of Rainbow Neos, the star of the show. When this card hit the board, it was really, really imposing. Even if we didn't necessarily win the game, a lot of times we were oddly close because Rainbow Neos is a good equalizer, on top of the fact that it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect because of Neos Fusion. One copy of Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon for spot removal. One copy of Psyframe Lord Omega for Psyframe Gear Gamma. This card came up ever so often. You could probably cut it if you don't have it, but that's totally fine. One copy of Secure Gardna for our Cyberus Light monster for Invocation. One copy of Salmon Almirage. One copy of Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden. One copy of Crystron Halki Fibrax goes into our Axis Code Talker line. One copy of Predaplant Verti Anaconda, the star of the show for turboing out our Rainbow Neos, and also our Dystopia. And finally, we have one copy of Selene and one copy of Axis Code Talker to assist in OT Kane. Now, I didn't necessarily go into Axis Code Talker all too often, but it is handy to have, especially because you can threaten lethal pretty much at any point in time. Overall, Rainbow Neos Turbo is a really cool deck idea, and I like it better in the TCG than I do inside of Master Duel. I think just the decks that are viable and the way that online ladder works inside of best of one formats like this deck is just kind of okay. On one hand, it's not a great going second deck because it can't quite OTK the same way something like Dinosaurs or Numeron or Cyber Dragons could. And I don't necessarily think going first it sets up that big of an imposing board that decks couldn't break it. Because of the random nature, whether you're going first or second, it really does kind of hurt the chances of this deck succeeding in a lot of cases. On top of that too, if you don't draw into hand traps or good interruption, which you sometimes aren't available, then you're kind of out of luck. So this deck is the right mixture of luck and skill for the most part. I don't really know what to call that in the quotation marks of skill, but it's really fun. If you have the chance, try it out, see how you can do, adjust the ratios, and let me know if you guys have tried making Rainbow Neos Turbo work inside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more from your boy, please consider subscribing. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, Rainbow Neos Turbo forever. Peace out. Just okay. Again, not his fault, but a part of that does have to do with the fact that he's been playing a different game for so long. I have a lot of TCG background. I have a lot of hero background. So. Oh, Nibiru in that for a construct, huh? Draw a card. Boop. Ash Blossom, very cool. You can chain block this with the Wendy to special summon. I think we don't let him special summon, or we negate banish, and then we, no, we just ash that. We just straight up ash that. That seems fine. Shaddoll card from deck to graveyard. Okay, that's fine. That seems okay. I think he's just trying to bait out the, he's trying to bait out the Mechaba, which isn't that bad. Ah, that's bad. Because he hasn't normal summoned yet, so now we're in contention. I think we have to negate the Alistair, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. Yeah, I think we have to negate the Alistair. We can go for Celestial. It decreases our options a little bit, but the Nibiru is good just in case he decides to extend really far here, but there's almost no reason to have the Nibiru. So we'll just negate and banish that. If he has the invocation already and an Alistair in hand, then we're essentially screwed anyways. So now the Shaddoll contract's going to go through, which is kind of fine. We're going to have to find a way to round this Shaddoll construct, though. And to OTK, which is possible. Which is very possible. I think the only way to do that is to find a way into Rainbow Neos. Because that's the only way to really extend past. Oh, Ecclesia! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you know, why don't I just play the Dogmatica engine? Oh, there's Gamma. Well, I feel like that was a little too easy. Very cool. We were just talking about that. All right. Well, I guess that worked out. Okay. We have one card to do this with. Sangan is away. We can actually clear the entirety of the board and OTK, I think. 55,000 for the Rainbow Neos. I think that's what we have to do. I think we have to go Sangan here. Sangan, go for Almirage. Almirage, go for Almirage here. Go search for the Arborea. Arborea here. Go for 2. Go for the Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Predaplant Verte Anaconda on the board. We don't want to give him card advantage. It doesn't really matter if we do, but it's actually totally fine if we do. Go ahead and target for 2. Go for Neos Fusion. Go for Rainbow Neos, sending Elements of Hero Neos and Rainbow Dragon. Rainbow Neos. Rainbow Neos Effect. Send 1 monster. Shuffle it back. And then Battle Phase. And we go for Alistair the Invoker. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. Yo! I love Thunder Dragons. So cool. So fun, so cool. Tauntaun. We're playing against Farface Cat. Okay, end phase. This is a going second hand if I've ever seen one. 2 bricks. And Max C brick. That's fun. End phase. I guess they're playing an OTK deck. I'm still playing 13 cards in my extra deck because this is a bad thing to do. There's Cyber Emergency. I'm not going to Gamma. What a ridiculously long game? Yeah, kind of. Okay, so he's got a Gamma here. I'm not playing to that Gamma. Hers is good. Normal summon something. Maxi here. Maxi challenge, Cyber Dragons. Let's go. Nothing in hand. Maybe could have been a Gamma. Probably not, though. Okay, so we got Nibiru in the back, by the way, which is not bad. Power Bond. Excuse me? Cyber Twin Dragon? I'm so in the year of our Lord, 2022, this man is Cyber Twin Dragoning me. In the year 2022. And we didn't even bring our anti-Cyber Dragon kit. We have one anti-Cyber Dragon card. We're gonna destroy him here. And it's not gonna feel good, but we're gonna do it. Single Hawkline is fine, but if he has a Gamma, then we're screwed. So let's go for Cyber Dragon. And then go for normal summon of Sangan. We'll go for the U. Then go for U for Almirage. Sangan effects, nothing. We'll go for our Arborea. Arborea, special summon itself. Go for a tuner here. We actually could have gone for something crazy. Effect Veiler. Into Access Code Talker. And you can't respond to this, so you have to respond after the summon, so 53. No. I was about to say yes. Access Code Talker. We banish Almirage. And we swing on this card. Battle Phase. 53. That's how you OTK. Cyber Dragon player. Didn't you make a video about how? So yes, I did actually. I made 2 videos clowning on Cyber Dragon or Cyber Twin Dragon, and then both of them were received very poorly. And by very poorly, I mean they were received like, you know, people were like, but it's so good. Why don't you just play it? And I'm like, you know why I'm not playing it.